The reason I'm standing behind the podium and wearing a black shirt is because, unlike everyone else here, the camera adds about 200 pounds to me. I'm about to say something to some people, some business people in this auditorium that they probably need to hear. If your competition is friendlier, they provide better service, they provide more value, they provide better products or deliver a more useful product to their customers than you do, then the competitor is not them, it's you. And I would probably spend some time over the next day or so thinking about ways to improve your business and to have provide the best possible experience for your customer. Now, in the average room, I probably lost about a third of you just now. And the next thing I'm about to say, I'll probably lose the rest of you. The closer you are to your customers, to your competitors, the more profitable and better your business will be. A cooperative coexistence with your competitors can cause your business to thrive. So I'm going to ask the obvious question for the couple people that are left listening is, what does this have to do with the real-time web? And Mark, what the heck are you talking about? Hopefully the next couple minutes I can answer those questions. But first of all, I want to take everybody back in time. I've got this unique problem where I'm very creative on one side and I'm very analytical on the other, and inside I have a war going on, and at times I blow my own mind. But before I try to change your paradigms, I want to take you back to a small town in rural northern New Mexico in the late 1960s. Now that you have the setting, let me kind of set the stage. This small town has two drugstores, both on the same block, just around the corner from each other. These stores opened a couple years apart, and they fought fiercely for the same customers. When one opened a fountain so they could serve ice cream and soda and sandwiches, the other opened a fountain. When one extended credit to their customers, the other almost immediately extended credit to their customers. When one put up a new building sign, the other one a few months later put up a new building sign. So hopefully you get the picture. These are mortal foes fighting for customers' dollars, a limited number of customers and a limited number of dollars. And that sounds like just about every small town business in America. One of the lessons that I think all of us learned early on in our business careers, whether it's true or not, from a teacher or a book or a mentor, is that the competition is our enemy and we must beat them. And so what do? We do market research and we figure out what makes our competition tick. And we look at their products and we visit their place of business and we review their marketing and we come up with plans and schemes to stay one step ahead. And if they do something that's really awesome, then we react. And you know what? That's great and that's a good thing, as long as you're running an excellent business. But let's go back to the battling drugstores. This feud between these two drugstores went on for a decade or so, and then a precipitating event happened that changed the way they view each other and they viewed the competition. About 40 miles away in another town, the grocery store Safeway remodeled and put in a pharmacy. So why is that such a game-changing event? Well, every small-town person knows that driving 40 miles to shop or get a good deal or maybe even get discount prescriptions is very, very compelling. So all of a sudden, the threat was not each other, but the threat was a store 40 miles away. And as the story goes, the two druggists sat down and had a cup of coffee. And the result of that conversation, from that conversation came the Support Your Local Pharmacy campaign that they did together. And the campaign pointed out they were part of the local community, that they had served your family and generations of your family. They knew your medical needs and they could better help you than someone who didn't. And they also talked about the things they did locally, like the extension of credit and the loyalty programs that they did. Now remember, this was an era where there was no fax machines, no computers, no email, no smartphones. A tweet was the sound of a bird on a fence. An instant message was handing a kid a note and getting on his bike and taking it to a neighbor's house. Status updates were you reading the marriage and obituary columns of the newspaper. And your friend's news feed was listening in on the party line. So let me tie a bow on the story between the two druggists. The community embraced their program, and the community responded. And for years, both businesses thrived and continued to be profitable. And in the end, the two pharmacists retired, and both were able to sell their business to aspiring new drugstore owners. Imagine that happening today. And it does. You're fighting in a tough business environment, and a big box retailer moves in next door or nearby. Or a current person starts offering services that they didn't offer before that directly compete with you. Or people can go online and get services and products possibly cheaper than you can offer. Again, that happens every single day. So how can the real-time web change the paradigm and give small-town retailers an edge? What would the druggists of yesteryear do with the real-time web tools of today? They would do what they do best. They would connect with their current customers online, make new friends, build their business. They would set up Facebook pages and interact with their customers. They would get involved in Google Places and Bing and Yelp and any other online place where online searchers would go find them easily. They would support local community events. They would use these tools to create their own events and further embed themselves in the community. They would advertise their specials and products online in some creative way. And most importantly, they would have hundreds and hundreds of online cups of coffee. But more importantly, I think once one of their online friends entered their physical place of business, they would have a real cup of coffee and a meaningful face-to-face conversation. Today's real-time web provides amazing collaborative tools to build the small-town community. And when competitors cooperate and coexist in this community, it gives the community a dimension and a layer that helps these businesses ward off threats and challenges. And trust me, in today's small-town business, there is plenty and plenty of challenges. And one thing that once we all realize that the real competitors are not always the guy next door, but ourselves, and we make our business as good as we can for the community we serve, we will find that the small town will remember us. They will not forget us. When we make a mistake, they'll forgive us, and in the end, they're going to reward us. Because if we combine the common sense of yesterday with the real-time tools of today, small-town businesses can work together as cooperative competitors, and they can actually thrive. In closing, one last thing about the two drugstores. One of the owners of one of the drugstores was my father, and I saw firsthand how operating with a competitor to ward off a threat can be powerful and profitable. I learned that connecting with the community is critical, and I learned that conversations can be powerful and they can literally kill a Goliath. But one thing I learned that's probably more important than all that is never ever turn down a cup of coffee with a friend or a foe. Thank you guys.